doing in your lives, and thrilled to be a part of it, honestly. I just think that there are so many things that just being close to your family that I've been able to learn just by getting, you know, more insight into how you parent, how you love, how you live. And so I think that anyone who clicks on this channel or could be so touched by that. And so thanks for your time today just to sit down with me and just answer some questions. But Daniel, you and I kind of go way back. I mean, you've been around for a bit in my life. All over the place. But so that kind of leads me to my first question here. You know, like for you as a couple, but also individually, you know, what was your childhood like? What has it been like for you? You know, as you know, a younger kid growing up in the kind of families that you were in, and I think that gives a lot of insight into where you're at now. So could we start there?
Yeah. Sure, yeah. I think it was a pretty interesting childhood for me, just having 6 sisters and a brother, and the community that I grew up in with close family in the area. And,
holla.
Yeah.
Cousins, guys.
Yep. So, you know, it just led to a lot of experiences that, you know, we live in the Midwest here, you know, kind of rural area, and it was a great childhood. You know, a lot of farming activity. You know, helping farm stuff.
Learning to work.
Yeah.
Working hard. And I grew up with a big family too. There were 4 of us girls and 1 brother. So both being from big families of most girls.
Yeah, lots of ladies.
Yeah. You know, it's no surprise that we ended up having 5 girls and 1 boy. So it was yeah.
Well, and I mean, you were prepped very well, Daniel, and learning how to lose with class. And all those board games back in the day. So I'm just saying, I mean, we go way back. Okay, so love your guys' love story. And I'm sure everyone would love to know how you guys, like where did you meet? How did that all come to be?
So Daniel was going to school at Purdue, and I was still in high school, about to graduate, but we actually met through some friends of ours, and
it's ironic that we didn't meet sooner, because we had a lot of acquaintances and friends that were the same, but we just never ran into each other. So thank God had His timing, and
for sure timing
when we found each other, and what that would mean for our future.
Yeah. I mean, was it like a lightning bolt type of thing?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like
right away.
Right away. You knew right away.
There was a strong attraction.
Well, I mean, what did you guys have in common? I mean, what kind of set that off?
She was hot.
He was smoking. Ew, Jamie. Ew.
Yeah. Well, when we started talking, you know, we just really got to the point of what we wanted our life to look like, and why, you know, we both grew up homeschooled, and that was something that was very important to us.
Yeah.
That we wanted to get married and have children and homeschool our children, so that way we could have a bigger influence and impact their lives, and just have their hearts, you know, and really raise our children to serve God. And just little things down to the silly things, like neither of us had like cable. Well, he didn't have cable. We did, but I never watched it. We didn't want to waste our life, you know. We wanted to have lots of kids. We didn't really have a number, but we both loved big families, and we loved children. And we just asked those serious questions right away. Yeah. And we were both like, that's it.
Whoa.
Yeah.
This is rare.
Kind of one of those situations where we both just had an attraction for each other, and then the more we got to talk and find out about each other, it just was like a perfect.
God just kept opening the doors wide open. It wasn't just like, oh, maybe it was, oh yes, this way. Like, God just really directed it.
Oh man. So like when you guys were getting to know each other, I mean, what was that like? Where did you go on dates? Like what kind of experiences did you guys, you know, step into together?
Well, he was, you know, going to Purdue, and he was in flight training for a pilot, So he had a lot of flight hours that he had to do, so he was away a lot. Actually, our first week of getting to know each other, he bought me my own cell phone because he knew that he was going to want to, we were going to have to talk over the phone more than actually get to be face to face. So every evening, I mean, there were nights that were like 4 and 5 hour long conversations. I just remember my phone being so hot and my cheek was burning, and I would be like, my face was so red because I was so hot just like sitting there holding the phone. But
I made a mistake when I first saw her, met her, that I didn't get her phone number.
Oh no.
Major blunder. So then I had to make up for it by getting her a cell phone. She was doing nanny work and stuff, and she was pretty hard to track down back in those days. So I had to have a way to stay in contact.
And you were ready to go all in.
He would be flying. I was working at a nursing home at the time when we first met, and we took our residents a boat.
Yes.
And he would fly over. He always would ask where I was going to be that day. He would fly over and find me.
Oh,
and he would like idle it and go like this, like rock the plane, like he was waving.
What's up?
Yeah. And one time I was setting up for my graduation open house outside, and he flies over, and my mom and I'm like, I hear a plane, and so we're like running, and we're like, my mom and I, we've done this like multiple times. Once was at my grandma's, and we ran outside. We were running down the sidewalk because we heard an airplane, and there enough, it was Daniel coming. He knew where I was, so he was always coming to find me.
Dee, that's so extra. I'm like, majorly impressed by that.
Yeah,
majorly impressed.
It was fun.
So how long was it then, like when you guys like first met, and then you like decided you were gonna get married? I mean, what was the
I'll let you answer that.
Yeah, we tried to spend as much time as possible, and we packed a lot in the first even couple weeks.
Yeah,
and,
so when did you ask me to marry you?
Yeah, about 2 weeks of getting in contact.
2 weeks?
2 whole weeks? Oh my gosh, overwhelming.
I was kind of unofficially, I didn't have a ring yet, so it was kind of, yeah.
Well, and then just as a side note, from anyone who knows you and loves you guys, I mean, your marriage is so solid to those of us who are onlookers and get to experience like just the joy of who you guys are, and just people are continually coming to you both for just marriage advice and like how do we walk this out, and that's just been beautiful for me to see, because hey, a lot of times when you know, and I think in this day and age of being engaged for 5 years, before you step into it, you can just see how God's blessed it from the get-go, and just giving you insight and wisdom into that. So just from this perspective, I've been so blessed by that.
As life has gone on, the kids have come, but we really just had a plan from the beginning that we didn't want to spend a bunch of money on
the wedding or a
honeymoon or anything right away. We really just wanted to focus on each other and starting a family. We wanted to have kids while we were young and put that as a priority over things we could do together maybe later on. So
that's good.
And we've really appreciated that decision, I think, through the years, because we're not older parents. We get to be with 6 kids, we get to still be young and enjoy them and see them and experience life with them while we're still able,
which you don't see as much these days. I mean, you really don't. And I that God works in all stages of life in different ways and stuff. But it is really refreshing to see that with you guys too. So how long was it then after you were married that you started having kids? I mean, what was the timeline there?
2 months.
Oh, for real?
We got pregnant.
I was gone for a long time. I didn't realize it was that quick. Oh my goodness. So two
and
months.
Here's the funniest part. We were trying. It was not a surprise.
We're like, okay, intentional decision here. That's just so great. I mean, so it was like from the get-go, great news.
Oh yeah.
Great news.
Yes.
So like on a day-to-day basis, just speaking of Edgewood Home and what you guys have going on here, like what is a regular day in the life of Jami and Daniel and the rest of the fam? I mean, what does that look like?
First of all, it's just survival. Anyone with kids understands that. It's just, you're just surviving while having young ones. But really, it's chaos, but there's so much beauty in it too.
Yeah.
And I think when I think back, we've been doing this for 6 years. If I think back, probably one of the biggest things that God has stretched me and has taught me is what the feel of needing prayer and really getting on my hands and knees and praying. Because I wasn't quite sure how I would finish the day.
Yeah.
So
you're spent, and you're like, I've got nothing left, Lord.
Yep.
Got nothing left.
Yeah.
So Daniel, I mean, what is it
so,
like for you?
7 years ago or so, we had 3 kids at the time, and we're living in a small house, and we had kind of a dream to. It's really your dream, babe, to take care of elderly, and so we had the opportunity to take a home that needed some work and kind of remodel it in a way that would allow us to take some elderly into our home and care for them, and we wanted to provide them with a environment that was more family-like. With just we don't feel like nursing homes a lot of times provide the quality and level of care that people need, and we wanted to give that family feel, so that was an opportunity that we had, and it was really a leap of faith because we had no idea if we would have enough money. We didn't know if any of the details we had in our mind would play out in reality.
Right.
And we felt like it was where we were led to go, and amazingly, it's remarkable how well everything has played out. Now, we've had 3 kids since starting that, and that was probably the biggest thing that I didn't plan on,
Oh yeah.
Because
you got your checklist of
that
things.
majorly changed things up.
Here's another kid. Okay, not that we didn't want that, and we wanted more kids, but it was just that on top of,
Right, you're already juggling, and you throw another ball in there, and you're like, oh wait, okay, 2 more. It gets a little overwhelming.
Yeah, but God, He stretches us, and He's always preparing us for what's next, and it's always worked out and been really just great.
And I don't know how Jami's done it, because each baby that we've had has been a C-section. So you think about just the 6 years, having 3 kids, that's 1 every 2 years, plus recovering from a C-section.
Yeah.
And we've worked through remodeling. We lived here during remodeling. It's really been a wild ride.
Yeah.
But God is so good. We've always had so much help.
Yeah.
I mean, God knows what we need when we need it.
Yeah.
And it's always been provided.
Which is a great lead into my next question. I mean, I know the answer to this, but like out here, in the country where you're at, do you is your family around? Like, what's it been like? I mean, it's incredible because of the people that you already have in your home, family members, but is family around?
With his side of the family and my side, really overall, we are surrounded by so much family.
Yeah.
We've got his parents across the road, and his sister's our nanny, so she's in the home every day, and we get to spend that time with her. And then my side,
Shout out.
yes. My siblings all live within an hour away, and so we're so blessed with family.
What's cool, just for perspective, when my friends come from out of town, out of state, and they see, all our houses within, a couple 100 acres, they're like, this is like my dream come true.
Aww.
This is what our family, like as a whole, as it expands, this is what we all want and long for. And you hear stuff like that and you go, man, like, you don't realize, because you have these future goals and these future things that you want to pursue and do, and it's so easy to miss the beauty of the present. And just to have that like reminder and go, oh my goodness, like we are so gifted to be where we are, surrounded by family. It's just been so beautiful.
Absolutely.
So, I love you.
Oh.
Thank you for watching. See you next time for part 2.